All right. Hi, everybody. Today we're going to do dead easy bread. 3 ingredients and super, super simple. First, we got 3 cups of flour, a half teaspoon of yeast, and a teaspoon and a half of salt. We also have a cup and a half of room temperature water. So what we're going to do is we're going to take that flour and sift it into the bowl. Like so. This just gets rid of any clumps that we might be having. We'll get there eventually. There we go. And then we're going to add the rest of our dry ingredients. Whisk thoroughly to combine. It will take longer than you think to get it thoroughly whisked. Try and give it several minutes if you have the opportunity. So we'll come back. Okay, now that we've got that all incorporated, I'll actually add now that was a dry instant yeast, not just a dry yeast. That's all right. We're going to take a cup and a half of room temperature water. We're going to add this, and we're going to incorporate it, stirring until it becomes a wet, shaggy dough. It ain't going to look pretty, but it's going to do the trick. At some point, it's going to start looking like this. Very raggedy. At this point, just kind of keep stirring to work it together. If it's not coming together, if you absolutely can't get it together, it's okay to add a couple more tablespoons of liquid if you need to, but we're going to try not to overhydrate. At some point, you're only going to get so far with a wooden spoon, so you're going to have to get in there with your hands. But what you're looking to do is not knead it. We're not going to be working the dough that much. All you really want to do is make sure that any of the little scraggly bits of flour and any of the dry patches get picked up and incorporated to any of the hydrated dough that you have. And once you get this mess, this craggly looking mess, you're just going to put it in the bowl, saran wrap it, and we're going to leave it for 12 to 18 hours. I'm just going to leave it overnight. I've gone as long as like 20, 24-ish hours, and it's turned out just fine. So we're just going to wrap this up, pop it on the counter, and come back tomorrow. All right, and we're back. The bread has set overnight. You see all those lovely bubbles forming. So this is basically ready to go at this point. What we're going to do is we're going to fire up the oven. We're going to take it all the way up to 450. You're going to take a Dutch oven or any other oven-proof pot or pan with a tight-fitting lid. We're going to pop this right inside. This is all going to sit here for half an hour. When it comes to the bread, it's going to be pretty simple. We're going to roll out a piece of baking paper. We're going to flour it really well, then turn this out on top of it. All right, we've turned it out. We've not kneaded it. You're not going to knead this dough. Don't overwork it too much. All I did was go around the outside of the bowl with this scraper. You could use a spatula as well, and just loosen it from the sides, turn it out. I flip it over once so it's floured on the top and bottom. Don't think you have to, but that's just the way I approach it. Then we covered it with a little bit of plastic wrap. This is going to hang out here for half an hour until that oven is fully preheated. This guy's had its half hour. We're going to uncover it. I like to slash the top with a knife before it goes in so it's got some vent, but it's not going to make that big of a difference, I don't think. I just like it. Kind of chefy. There we go. 2 cuts. Just off camera because I'm shooting this myself. Then we're going to pop into the oven. Grab that container. Now that the container is preheated, we're going to pop the lid off. Yeah, see? Then we're going to grab this, just lift it by the paper and drop it in. I'm going to do that off camera. All right, it's in there now. We're going to put the lid back on, pop it back into the oven, and come back in a few minutes. Goodbye. All right, team, it's been half an hour at 450, so we're going to pop it to the oven again. Pull this sucker out. We're just going to pop the lid off. There we go. Look at that. It's so pretty. But we want to get it nice and brown and crusty, so we're going to push it back in again. Close it up. And come back in another 15 or so minutes. Okay, it's been a good 15 minutes, and we're back. Crack this open. Head inside. And there's our loaf of bread. It's taking on some nice browning on top. A little less color here where it was covered. Well, that's alright. It's not going to hurt it much. Okay, we've got it out. I've got it actually turned upside down, so we're going to tap on the bottom. You want to listen, because you want it to sound kind of hollow. That sounds hollow enough to me. So we're going to let it sit here and rest for a little bit. And that's our loaf of bread. I would give it maybe 10-15 minutes of rest time before you cut into it, just to preserve the texture. And then you're good to go. Enjoy. Date Easy Bread.